Welcome to the Horror Unmasked podcast,
where we unmask the monsters
and explore the lore.
I'm Amber.
And I'm Lily.
And today is our lovely Chit-chat episode, but it is a Lily-focused episode, as it has to do with a fun location she got to go to.
Yes. So, as you've heard many, many times, my birthday, I celebrated many ways for 21, and one of those ways was I went to Vegas.
Sounds about right, yeah.
Yeah.
Vegas is
for your
classic.
21st. It is classic. Hold on. My toenail is... Excuse the brief delay in operations. What was I saying? Have fun editing that.
You went to Vegas as your 21st.
I went to Vegas for my 21st birthday. And while I was there, we may have gone to a little museum that belongs to a certain guy named Zak Bagans.
Zak Bagans!
Woo!
Of Ghost Adventure acclaim.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
He is very popular for a TV show that he did, where he went around and, did some ghost hunting.
Mm-hmm. And it is still ongoing. They've got
Really?
like 200 and something episodes, and he's got so many different shows. It is, he's really, from Ghost Adventures, he really busted out and just started, he made so many different things. He even did an entire series during quarantine while at his museum and everything like that.
Yes,
so,
I do.
Yeah. So
know that.
he's going strong.
Yeah, I personally have only seen probably a couple episodes.
My mom lives for that show.
Yeah.
She loves it.
So I feel a little bad that, she couldn't experience it.
She will.
She will at some point.
It'll be a lot, but she will.
It's heavy at this museum, and we'll get more into what I experienced and what I saw at this museum. But first, we will discuss a little more about Zak himself.
He was born in Washington, D.C. On the 5th of April.
So he's not an American?
1977.
Washington, D.C. is kind of a gray area. It's not a state. It's just kind of... Obviously,
You're
it's
so fucking weird. That was the blondest thing I've ever heard you say out loud.
Obviously, it's American soil.
Washington, D.C., so he's not American?
Obviously, he is. It was a joke.
Girl.
Obviously, it didn't land very well, but that's okay. I tried to be funny. It didn't work. I just sounded stupid. I'm not. I understand things. I promise.
I'm in college. I'm going to school. I promise.
I'm getting a good education. Over a 4.0. Thank you.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't really show it all the time. I'm intelligent. I never said I was wise.
Or
no, is it the other way around?
It's the other way around. I'm wise.
I never said I was
intelligent.
No, I'm smart. Thank you. I just need to read more.
But yeah, he's always been interested in spooky stuff and passionate about it since he was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
He actually believed that he was being protected and guided by spirits throughout his childhood, and
so he's sensitive to that stuff.
He basically believes that it's what led him. His beliefs led him to doing paranormal exploration near his hometown, especially in and around the mines in Nevada.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's a little interesting to me because there's some stuff in the museum that I had issues with, like the display of some things, and we'll get into that later.
Okay. He said that it's so I guess there was a personal experience that Bagans had back in 2002 that inspired him and cemented his decision towards the Ghost Adventure. Well,
could possibly well be.
No, I'm just kidding.
Think so. No, I doubt that. It says that he was in Michigan and he made contact with the spirit of a woman who was in his apartment. Apparently, this woman committed suicide in his bathroom right before he moved in. So that's what inspired him to make the documentary that he did in 2006.
Gotcha, because it does mention the documentary in here, so yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess his life is just full of paranormal.
I could not imagine living life like that. That's heavy all the time.
Yeah.
cool, yeah, fun, ghost hunting, but
Yeah, but
making
that's
it
a
your
lot.
life.
Yeah. It is,
Ooh.
and it's even when the cameras aren't filming.
Yeah.
That he focuses on it.
Mm-hmm.
Not like all encompassing, but he definitely does think about it quite a lot.
Yeah.
He's considered one of the most notable figures in the world of paranormal investigation.
Which checks out.
Yeah. And has been the forefront of parapsychological research.
That's a mouthful.
Yep. Yeah. The show aired or premiered in 2008. And yeah, 24 series, several specials, and live shows. And it's still going.
That's crazy.
So yeah, they were definitely not prepared for how big their show was going to be.
Yeah. That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot of stuff.
And that's like millions of people tuning in to see his show.
It really checks out because when you're inside that house, it's a mansion. And every single room is filled wall to wall. There is so much crap in that house. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know how to describe it.
And I mean, people love him because he tends to be serious and dynamic, and he's pretty dynamic when he's on the show. But oh my god, the memels that have birthed because of Zak Bagans, especially the "come fight me, ghost" mentality, is hilarious.
For the most part.
It's even funnier because Aaron Goodwin has the best faces ever in the show. He makes the most expressive faces when he gets scared or hears things. It is pure joy.
I have no idea who that is, but this is really making me want to watch the show. Like, just hearing about it and like going through the house really made me want to watch it.
In the museum and everything.
I needed a good month to like separate myself from
the show's easier to follow.
The house and actually watching the show.
The museum.
Being in the museum and then watching the show, yeah. I needed a good separation.
Yeah.
So
yeah, my mom watches every new episode that comes out.
I feel funny saying this, but it's like, I'm finally ready to talk about it. No, nothing atrocious happened. It was just some things in there.
There's a lot of I know just minorly that there's a lot of intense shit in the museum. There's a lot of really dark objects.
Yeah, and some of them I won't even be listing because there was it was like a 2-hour tour, maybe more.
Wow.
It was a lot. Like, I saw a lot, and so I probably won't mention everything just because I forgot some stuff or it was just not really worth mentioning maybe, but
yeah.
Crazy.
I'm interested to see what it was like because, you know, he has obviously a lot of time spent with ghosty things and objects inhabited by ghosts.
Yeah. I wonder what a conversation with him would be like.
Ooh, that would be
just because he lives his life in this state.
God, my fucking mom would love to talk to him.
Oh, I'm sure.
Especially just the idea that, like, he's done episodes about his museum and he's got, like, stuff like that where it's, like, videos and things of, like, people who have been affected and all that kind of stuff. So it's definitely interesting.
Mm-hmm, for sure. There's so much stuff.
Yeah,
and a lot of it,
dude.
they're like, don't touch it. You could get cursed.
I'm like, why would I ever want to touch it?
Why would I want to? No, because the second she said that, we went into the room. Okay, let's backtrack. Are
you telling me that someone...
Hold on.
Someone, The Conjuring, that dumbass bitch who went into the room and fucking just started touching everything?
Oh, that girl from the Annabelle Comes Home? Yeah.
That dumb bitch who walked in a ghost hunting house with a fucking cursed object room and was like, let me just put my fingers on all of the things because
so
stupid.
We get there and it's just me, my best friend Sophie, and my dad, and we go in and there's just like this room and they're like, okay, do you want to upgrade to VIP for like $30 extra or whatever? My dad and Sophie were cool not doing that, but I was like, we're in Vegas, it's my birthday. I'm gonna do it. There's a free shirt involved and I get to see more like exhibit
Yes.
Yes.
Without a doubt, yes.
For sure. Later,
How much were the tickets in general? Do you know?
I want to say anywhere between 30 to 50.
Which isn't bad.
No. For a 2-hour tour.
And then another 30 on top of it for 2 hours? And then extra time and a free shirt? Fuck yeah.
Well, here's the thing. It's all in the 2 hours. There's just, they separate you from VIP versus like not.
Gotcha.
And so they have the VIP people like go through the different rooms while they take the non-VIP people. Like, So you're all together still. It's just while you're on the tour, the VIP
you might get
people,
some extra, some extra stuff. Yeah.
And
That's
I'll
cool.
explain that in a second.
Hell yeah.
So I upgraded. And as we go through the tour, I sense that might have been a mistake.
Oh, shit.
Because that made me the only one out of my group. I was alone. That's what that meant.
Oh, shit.
That meant I was alone.
Because it was just the three of you.
Because it was just, well, we had a huge, like, we went with a tour group.
Oh, shit. But nobody else fucking upgraded?
Well, people had upgraded, but I'm saying for me, like, I'm not going to go stand next to some...
It's like, you by yourself.
I don't know these other people.
Of your group.
Of my group, I'm by myself.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
There was a massive group, but you didn't know anybody else.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So it was... Ugh. And so the second we get into the first room, this guy starts leaning on shit right after the girl, our tour guide, had just said, don't touch anything. And I'm like, that was so stupid.
That man deserves to get cursed at that point.
I don't know. Our group was like really cool, really nice, pretty funny. They had some funny moments, but so the first thing that the VIP people were able to experience was Gretchen, the doll.
Oh.
So they had us go through this little tunnel thing where Gretchen was. And apparently Gretchen, do you remember when we went to Key West and there was Robert the doll?
Yes. Where we heard the story about Robert the doll. I don't think he's in Key West, but I know that the house that the store that he came from is in there. Key West.
Yeah. Gretchen is basically Robert's equivalent. Apparently she's like life size, like a child. So she's like a couple feet tall.
The doll itself?
The doll itself. I don't really remember, but this is what this is saying. I don't remember because like that was the first room we went into and I was by myself. So I was like, I'm just going to quick look at her and I'm going to walk away. Okay, bye.
Yeah.
But I guess she's life size. So this doll apparently made pictures fall off the wall, lights to turn on and off. She would move by herself. Apparently she would cry really loudly for no reason.
I don't like that.
No. But now she's with Zach at the museum. So she's kind of creepy. She got some long legs. I respect you. No hate. I'm not gonna go through room by room the exact. I would have done that, but there are some things I'm forgetting because it's been a while.
You're fine. Just go as close to the path that you remember as possible.
So then after that, it was this. We went to this room where there was like an altar, and there was like a video or like a bunch of pictures, and it was the sound of this exorcism.
Okay.
From this lady in Germany. Her name is Anneliese Michel, something like that.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah,
yes.
and so basically 2 priests were charged with homicide.
Yeah.
Because, they gave her an exorcism. But,
yeah.
So she was 23. She went to the University of Würzburg, something like that. But they thought she was possessed and she died and her weight dropped to 70 pounds before she passed away.
Yeah, exorcism is dangerous as fuck.
Yeah, but they were charged with murder because apparently everyone said that if she had just gotten the proper medical attention, she would have been fine. But
so AKA psychological attention.
Yeah, but all of this happened in the 70s.
Sounds about right.
Just a young college student who got possessed.
A young college student who got possessed, the huge.
The way I said that made it sound like it. Yeah.
You were like, yes, because that's a classic affliction of all college students is that we all get possessed at some point.
No.
I know, right?
No, because I still have 2 years left. It's not going to happen. But I guess her parents were also charged with...
Well, yeah.
Which makes sense.
Because it's a level of
However, she was 23, so...
Yeah.
I don't really know.
They might have been involved in the situation.
But it was so creepy. I'm, sitting there, and they have us sit in the dark.
So it makes it worse.
And the sound of this exorcism is just playing.
Because it's not video, it's just audio.
It's just audio.
Yeah.
and it's just pictures of her like up on this altar thing. And then when that's done, they have the non-VIP people go out into the hall, and us VIP people crawl through a crawl space in the wall.
What? Why? The fuck? Why?
They said this tunnel is imbued with, the dark negative energy of this exorcism. And I didn't really understand that, but it was fun and terrifying to just crawl through crawl space with weird grown men.
That's fucking weird. That's weird.
It was weird.
A little weird.
It was pitch black.
Well, yeah, I mean, and I
couldn't see a damn thing.
You also have to understand that there's a reason why if you watch a horror movie with no sound on, it's not going to be as scary as if you turn around and only can hear the horror film.
Yeah, because they played the sound while we were going like through this dark effing tunnel.
So it's fucking terrible. So
it's not great. That was horrifying.
Yeah.
I immediately ran to Sophie and my dad. So scary. But it was funny seeing grown men freak out. After that, we then went to this one room where a man known as Dr. Death. Mm-hmm. So he's a pathologist. He helped over 100 people commit suicide in the 90s. So not very long ago. Basically, a bunch of people.
Yeah. When you mean helped people, are you referring to, is it the difference between Angel of Death style or assisted suicide?
Assisted suicide.
Okay, so these people like actually wanted to die and he helped.
Yes.
Versus Angel of Death is like, well, it's their time, and so I will just send them on.
No, it wasn't like that. These people came to him,
but because it wasn't legal, or at least there are some places in the current time that do have assisted suicide.
Yeah.
But it is definitely, a very touchy subject.
Yeah. He believed that, dying isn't a crime.
Yeah.
If somebody is in a lot of pain and, needs that.
Yeah.
I understand that personally. If you have a certain disease and you're
chronically in pain.
Something of life. If you're, what's the phrase I'm looking for?
I don't fucking know. I feel like I know what you're trying to touch on. Because quality of life would be like if you are not in a good medical state.
That is what I'm saying. Trying to say. Yeah, like if your quality of life is
deteriorated to a point that it's like uninhabitable.
Yeah, then obviously understandable. Like this guy, Thomas Uke, was diagnosed with Lou Gehrig's or ALS. And for that case specifically, Dr. Death, his name is, what's his name? All I have is Kevorkian.
Oh, Dr. Kevorkian?
Dr. Kevorkian.
Ooh. Yeah. He's not a good person.
I bet not, but...
No, Dr. Kevorkian's not a good person.
But, yeah, he just said dying's not a crime, helped, at least 130 patients kill themselves. He was convicted of murder in 1999.
Yep.
And, obviously gained the name Dr. Death.
Yep.
He was released in 2007 on parole. So, as long as he agreed not to participate in any,
medical stuff.
Yeah. And then he died in 2011 at 83. But yeah, anyway, in the room that I'm talking about, which is the reason why I'm talking about this, they had his van.
Yes. I was about to say, they have his van.
Yeah, they have his actual van that he used to euthanize people. Like, they would come to his van, and that is where he would help them kill themselves.
Yarp.
I'm not sure what he did to the bodies afterwards. I don't really want to know.
Yeah. So we looked up about the museum and the items in it, not the people whose items they were. So there's a bigger, deeper thing about Kevorkian.
If you want to go deeper into all the stuff we're talking about, email us. I would love to learn about it. Another room we went into was, we walked in and there was a bed and some furniture pieces. And apparently this bed belonged to a man named Dennis Hoff, who was the owner of many brothels in Nevada. However, the thing about this bed is that Dennis Hoff died on it in 2018. And then this basketball player, Lamar Odom, he had an overdose on it 3 years before Dennis Hoffman died. Sorry.
Gotcha. So the basketball player died first.
No, he didn't die. He's alive.
Oh, he's still alive, but he just had an overdose on it.
He had an overdose on that bed. And
Gotcha.
then 3 years later, Dennis Hoff, Dennis Hoff died on it. And
Gotcha.
now people like were taking pictures and like claim to see like the devil in the background or whatever, but apparently just the bed itself is cursed. And
Gotcha.
I don't know why it's this big thing. I thought it was kind of dumb.
I mean, at this point, it just sounds like a bed that two people have died on. Like, one person overdosed and one person died on.
Yeah, and like other people claim to see stuff or whatever. But apparently Lamar was saying that, yeah, the bed is cursed. Like, he straightened up his life after that. Or, like, he doesn't know what really compelled him to do all those drugs, I think he was talking about. But something to do with the bed, I guess.
Weird.
Yeah.
That just sounds
strange.
like life circumstances and...
Yeah. I don't know.
But whatever.
It was kind of stupid. The only interesting part is that Dennis Hoff is a brothel owner.
Yeah.
Of places called Bunny Ranch and Love Ranch. Yeah. Anyway, next. Okay, there were many rooms.
Yeah.
Filled with different serial killer things.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense.
The first room we went into had a whole bunch of people. It had stuff about Ted Bundy, John Wayne Gacy, Charles Manson.
Yeah.
For Charles Manson, they had his dentures, which were weird to look at, and like the hospital gown like he died in, and you can still see like some stains like of his blood.
Yeah.
On the gown. It's really gross stuff. For John Wayne Gacy, he had like actual self-portraits that he painted of himself as the clown.
Yes.
And like many letters
Pogo
to
the
like
clown.
Pogo the clown. And many letters to, I want to say it was his stepdaughter, actually, not his actual daughter. Or was it his daughter?
I don't know.
It's been a while since I've listened to, some podcasts about them, so I don't know everything. And then for Ted Bundy, they had his kill kit, like his actual kill kit.
Yeah.
Which had like his gloves, flashlight, some wire, trash bags, the gym bag he had everything in, some clothesline rope, and strips of bed sheets. And they also had his glasses.
Oh.
So like a lot of stuff. And then what was gross was that they had like pieces of like some of the victims, like maybe their teeth or their hair.
Yeah.
Or like fingernail clippings.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's disgusting. Why would you put that in there? And then we went over to this room about Ed Gein.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. And for those of you who don't know who Ed Gein is, I don't know why you wouldn't, but well, I guess
no. No, he's part of that. He's part of the same group as that first group.
Yeah, but basically he dug people up and cut people apart and made furniture and clothing out of their skin.
Yep. I distinctly remember hearing about a nipple belt.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like a lampshade.
Yup.
Yeah, pretty gross. So they had his shovel that he used to dig people up, and then like a cauldron that he used to like drain people's bodies, I guess.
Yeah.
And then they went one step further.
Yes.
And apparently they took someone's skin and framed it just to see what it would be like. Like of a guy who died like a few years ago, and they took his skin, like part of his nipple and stuff, and put it in a frame.
Wait. So it's not like
it's not from Ed Gein.
It's not from Ed Gein's collection.
No,
it's literally just they were like, "Fuck it, this guy's dead. He'll be okay with it. We'll just cut off a bit of his body and frame it."
Frame it, yeah.
Gotcha.
And I was like, "What the fuck, guys?"
You would think it would actually just be something from Ed Gein's shit, but
Yeah, but I was thinking like, why would you do that? Why would you for the experience? Believe me, I don't need that.
I don't need that.
I
but
don't need it.
You pop off.
Did I look at it? Sure.
Pop off. Weirdly, but go for it.
Disgusting. And now we're on to the thing that I think disturbed me the most. This room came much, much later into the tour.
Gotcha.
However, I'm grouping it in with the serial killers because
it's a serial killer.
It's a serial killer, yes. This serial killer is Bob Berdella. And this was a VIP room.
Gotcha.
And I'm going to say trigger warning.
Ooh, shit. Okay.
So skip ahead a little bit because it's really fucked up.
Give base themes.
Murder, rape, torture.
Gotcha. So skip ahead if sexual assault and stuff like that are not your
bad.
You don't want to hear.
Yeah, so I'm starting now. So we go into the room, and I'm not thinking anything of it. There's just like this bed and some like torture stuff, and I'm like, okay, what is this? And there's like pictures on the walls, and suddenly Zak starts speaking about Bob Berdella and how he had, I want to say, like 6 victims that he kept, and one at a time, and every time he had a victim, he would torture them for like a week before he actually killed them. Like, he would pour drain stuff into their eyes, he would stick like needles under their fingernails, he would sodomize them with a pole. And not here's good. Where I get uncomfortable. The bed itself was the actual bed that Berdella used in his torture. They had a dummy strapped into the position that Berdella would torture his victims in.
Yeah.
The pole he actually used to sodomize these guys, bound to the dummy, like restraining his arms, and then the shock device he used hooked up to the dummy as well. And that's not the worst part. The worst part for me was the fact that they said that there was fecal matter from one of his actual victims on the bed still. That is so tasteless. I'm sorry. I wanted to get out of there so bad. That was not tasteful. I don't know why Zak needed to do that, but it was disgusting. And he had the actual photos that Berdella took of his victims on the wall. That's what that was. I'm like, why did you need to
extremely
use a dummy
graphic,
to display what happened to these people?
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
Like, these people suffered for so long.
Yeah.
And
only
you're
to
just
die
gonna
in this horrible way.
And you're just gonna display that like it's nothing?
Yeah.
Sorry, I had an issue with that.
Yeah.
I left that room. I was the first one to go.
Yeah.
There was no way. It was so uncomfortable.
That's a severe moral
like, you're gonna
upset.
have the shit from his actual victims just still on the bed, using the actual pole that they were tortured with.
Yeah. And then posing
a dummy like that? No.
Yeah.
Sorry.
To simulate how he would have tortured them. Yeah.
I have an issue with it.
It's a little much. The dummies did not need to be there.
No, it didn't. And that's kind of where I was done with my tour. But it kept going, obviously.
You were kind of put off after that point.
I mean, luckily it was at the end, so, like, towards the end.
Yeah.
But I was still really off. Like, no, I was done. Yeah. I don't even know how to move on to the next thing after that, but...
Just gotta go for it.
Yeah. So they also had a room with, like, a couple of Al Capone's stuff. Like, they had the carpet and, like, his mirror and his furniture set or whatever. And, like, a brick from a shooting that he did, I guess. I don't really remember a whole lot about that. But, like, apparently he lined a bunch of people up and, like, they were all shot. And, like, one of the bricks from the wall in the back, they had it there. Yeah. I don't know what was so special about that, but that was cool. Then they took us to a room that was a little more lighthearted, but also not.
Okay.
It was all like movie based.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So they had The Crow, so Bruce Lee's son.
Mm-hmm.
They had his jacket from that movie, like the coat, which was cool. They had some stuff from the Poltergeist, I believe. Some Chucky stuff.
Cool.
But the coolest thing I thought was that they had Gary Oldman's cane that he used in Dracula.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. A little homage to our first episode.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool. They also had James Dean's car axle.
Yeah, okay.
Which apparently is, like, super famous.
Yeah.
Because his car is very cursed. Little Bastard.
Oh, yeah. That car is extremely cursed.
That's the car that James Dean died in. It's called Little Bastard. And apparently, Zak Bagans bought it for almost $400,000.
Yep.
Dude, what?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it was all that glamorous. I'm just saying. I like $400,000.
Murder mobilia and death mobilia is really pricey shit.
Yeah. Yeah. How could I forget? There was a time in the tour. This house has a basement. Obviously, Zak Bagans bought this mansion for a reason. That reason being it was supposedly haunted before he
turned it into a museum.
And before he turned it into a museum to store
all of his haunted
objects.
Yeah.
So what had happened in this basement was, I guess, some Satanists sacrificed a little boy down there or something. And there was like a pentagram in the floor.
Yeah. Like painted or carved?
Painted.
Gotcha.
But it was still on the floor. I didn't really get a good look at it. But here's where I was the most scared.
Okay.
So this was another VIP section. So I was the only one in my personal group to go. But not only that, I was the first one to go down. No one else wanted to go, so my dumb ass
raised your fucking hand.
No, I just walked down the stairs.
Girl.
I just walked down the stairs.
You were like, let me be brave, and then you got halfway down. You were like, nope, never mind. That was a bad decision.
No, literally, I got halfway down, looked back up, and no one was following me. No one was following me. I was like, oh,
they were all like,
God.
Fucking good luck, bitch.
No, literally,
you're going by yourself.
I got all the way down the stairs before the first person started coming down again, and I made it all the way. I literally was down there by myself.
Oof.
I was
no, thank you.
by myself.
Nope.
I was shitting bricks. All I kept thinking was bright light, safety, protection.
Yep.
I'm surrounded by...
Were you just... Now, here's a question. Were you just sitting there, like, watching the top of the steps?
No.
To see if people... Like, to watch as people were coming down?
Well, when I made it down, like, I didn't turn my back on anything, but I, like... Obviously not. Stop. I'm getting chills just thinking about it.
I was dead ass about to say, like, did you have your back to the room? Because I would have not wanted to turn around.
Because you have to go into a hallway first. It's like a hallway you walk down before you get into the room with the thing.
Gotcha. So you were just standing there by yourself in the darkness.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Sounds like fun.
Before the grown man finally came down, and then everybody else followed. But I walked into that room. I was in there for 0.3 seconds, and then I turned around and walked back out. As I passed people who were finally down there.
Yeah.
But I was like, no, I experienced that by myself.
I'm good.
I was in that room alone.
Yeah.
I ran back up those stairs so fast. I was probably down there for a total of 20 seconds. Yeah. No, thank you. Never again. My stomach hurts just thinking about it. So, good luck to those who, decide to go see that.
Or are very sensitive.
Yes. Yeah.
This whole place is like a danger zone for sensitive people.
It's so true. Yeah. I only have a few more things.
Yeah.
But there was this one circus area. It was interesting. I don't really remember exactly what they had to say about it, but there was like this whole section just dedicated to circus themed. Like, it was a few rooms.
Gotcha.
So, like, there was this one room we walked into, and it was, like, a whole diorama of this gigantic circus. I don't really know what that was about.
I wonder what it was referencing.
I think it was referencing, maybe, correct me if I'm wrong, but there was this one guy who said he was influenced by, like, something, and he, like, set the circus on fire, and it's, like, one of the biggest, like, pyro incidents.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's known.
I feel like there's something in like the back of my mind that's like tickling the thoughts that are like, it sounds familiar.
They had the head of a lion that like killed a bunch of people. So that was interesting. But what I couldn't get over was the disgusting smell that was in that room. They tried to make it like all popcorny and carnivals, but I literally could not. I was holding my nose in my jacket because it was so bad.
Was it like sweet or salty, or was it like...
Yes.
Oh, so they had like a really strong like
it
sweet, salty
so gross,
popcorn smell?
Though.
Gotcha.
Like, it was disgusting.
Like
I don't
artificial
know how to describe
popcorn?
it. I really don't.
Gotcha.
But like, we walked into this one room where this human blockhead was, doing a little stunt with a drill. He like put it in his nose. He's set a record or something, but he took like, usually people do it with nails, like they'll stick a nail like in their nasal cavity, like going straight into their face.
Yeah.
But he did it with like a drill, and the bit was like that.
Yes,
long. Like,
yes.
He went far. Sorry, I kind of... Have fun fixing that later. But yeah, human blockhead is what they're called. The guy that we saw, like, apparently has a record, and he just stuck a very long drill bit straight into his face. Mm-mm. And with no warning. He just kind of did it in 2 seconds and then was having a whole conversation with us. And I was like, wait a minute.
I'm sorry. You just put a drill in your face, my dude.
That was like putting a drill into my face. You need to chill.
You need to take a second.
And then he asked me if I was okay. I think he thought I was like feeling the effects of it. And I am a sensitive person. Yeah. While I was in there, I was feeling some shit. But I think he thought I was going to pass out or something because I was just holding my jacket up to my nose, like kind of like, ugh. He was like, you cool? I was like, it's just the smell in here is disgusting.
Sometimes artificial smells can be too strong.
Yeah. Well, the whole point of that room was to just talk about the human blockhead, but I could not get over the smell. So I was like, can we please get out? And then they had us go through like this like hallway of clowns.
Yeah.
Like clown suits.
Weird.
It was very strange. There was a whole bunch to this house that was just crazy. My chest is getting heavy talking about these last two things, or like looking at them.
Okay, well, shit.
So one of them...
Are these more trigger warning things, or are they just like...
It's just like...
A lot?
Not really even a lot. It's just being in the room with these two...
Gotcha.
...cursed objects...
Was a lot. Was heavy.
Was heavy.
Got you.
Personally. The first one, they have something called the Devil's Rocking Chair, which is actually from... the exorcism site of David Glatzel.
Oh.
If you are wondering why that name sounds familiar, it is the little boy who was possessed, where Ed and Lorraine Warren came and performed an exorcism on him, but instead the demon went into this guy named Arnie Johnson, who later killed his landlord and tried to get out of jail, claiming that it was because he was possessed. But the chair was at the exorcism, and basically Bagans bought it because I guess he really loves Ed and Lorraine Warren and knew that they were part of the case, and he bought it off of, I want to say, David Glatzel's brother? It says, it is known that Lorraine Warren and the young Glatzel boy who was possessed, David, would both see the beast sitting in the rocking chair it claimed as his.
Gotcha.
So, yeah. But apparently, so Bagans bought the chair from David's brother.
Gotcha.
For $67,000.
Yep.
Crazy. So, my stomach hurts. Oh my goodness. Talking about all this, reliving it. Disgusting. I need a cleansing after just talking about it. So I thought that was really crazy. Sophie said that was the room that affected her the most.
Gotcha.
With the chair.
Well, doesn't she have like a younger brother?
She does.
So I think that's why.
That could be why.
I feel like it's because she has a younger brother, and we'll just say that it's about a little boy who got possessed and was like in a really dark place.
Yeah. So that makes sense. But it was so weird because they had like this small gate that was like probably up to your waist, and then behind that it was a giant space and then a wall. And behind the wall was the chair. It was like a door with like glass in it. And that was where the chair was. And they were like, for VIP people, you could go behind the gate and like look closer at the chair. And I was like,
no, thank you.
I'm good right here. I can see the chair.
I don't need to be closer to the chair.
I need to be closer.
I don't need to see the wood grain pattern of the chair. Thank you. But no, thank you.
Shit, I missed something. I was going to talk about it earlier with, along with Gretchen. Because it's a doll. Although this is right next to the chair. So
you're fine.
I'm good. Right next to the chair. I believe it was. No, this was upstairs.
Well, it's fine. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
The house is on your tour.
The house is a huge fucking maze. But basically, there's a doll named Peggy.
Mm-hmm.
Peggy the doll. And this was the only room they had us go into where they made us say hello to Peggy. And then say goodbye to Peggy.
Gotcha.
And like we could choose to look in her eyes.
No,
but we didn't have to. Apparently, back in 2015, there's a woman named Harris who was called by this woman, and she was begged for help to like take this doll that she'd found in a garage sale or whatever, and was causing her nightmares and like gave her a weird sickness.
Yeah.
And Harris was like, sure, I'll take her. But the lady had like locked her in a shed outside.
Gotcha.
But while Harris was like figuring out the whole Peggy stuff, she got really ill.
Yeah.
And started to have hallucinations and like heard noises.
I'm not cool with that.
While Peggy was in her house. After Peggy was taken out of her house, she started to feel better.
Yeah.
But basically, other psychics have looked at Peggy and they think that the spirit of this woman from London from the 40s, like, attached to Peggy. And I guess that woman died from like a respiratory condition or
Gotcha.
But nobody really knows, I guess.
I don't like the fact that you could choose to make eye contact with the doll. I don't like that. I don't like that was an option.
And you know what my dad fucking did?
Made eye contact because that's your dad.
That's my dad. Because
I would have. Did they tell you about the eye contact thing before you walked in the room? Or
for
after?
For sure.
Thank fuck, because I would have just like eyes, head down, hi, hello, bye, hello, bye.
The thing is, me, Sophie, and my dad got separated, so it was me and my dad next to each other, and then Sophie was like at the back for some reason. Shit. And apparently she wasn't paying attention when the lady told her not to.
Oh shit! And she made eye contact.
No. Luckily, another lady said it to her before she went in.
Fuck.
But I was thinking like somebody was looking out for my baby. Oh my goodness.
Oh my god.
I
would just walk in the room with my head down.
That's what I did.
I'm like, I'd be like, hi.
I didn't even look
and
at
goodbye.
her. I didn't even see her. Like,
I don't even give a fuck what you look like.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna risk the chance of making eye contact.
And the only thing I was saying was like, hi, Peggy, I respect you. I hope you're doing well. You're not allowed to do anything to me or my family. Goodbye, Peggy. And I walked out. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm an eye contact person, and I would have just accidentally looked in her eyes.
Yeah.
If I tried to look at her.
Mm-hmm. And apparently there's a video, and a bunch of people have said that they've had headaches or they like felt sick the second that they saw it. And there was one woman who said she got a heart attack.
Ooh, my fucking God.
Yeah. And many other people who were like, I got anxiety after
I know that there's a lot of people who like faint or get pushed or get hit or get pulled.
They showed a lot of videos like that within the museum.
The museum.
But, you know, you never really know I am a skeptic. I will say it.
Which is shocking because you don't sound, this whole episode, you don't sound like a skeptic at all.
Because I'm skeptic to a degree. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sitting here like, yes, I believe in something, but what if it is all fake? You know what I mean? Like,
well, that's all life.
Because that could be this entire fucking house. Obviously, I believe in these things, but who's to say... You know, Zak Bagans wasn't just like, because I haven't seen the show. I don't know.
No, he's when I say that he is so effing serious about ghost hunting, it's to a fault that people make fun of him for it.
Okay, but my thing is when I walk into a house and I see an exhibit where they position a dummy, that way I'm gonna be.
There's a difference
off.
Between tastelessness and belief.
Which is like the tastelessness made me believe that he was not being serious about that. That's what that made me believe.
He's got a weird relationship with things.
Clearly. Because that's fucked up.
There's just, you know.
But I mean, you know, they could also just add these videos to add that more sense of like, oh my God, could it happen to us? You know? I'm not saying in the whole house I did not feel things. I am very sensitive.
Because if you were a actual true skeptic, your ass would not have given a shit about any of the items in that room.
I was so scared.
You would have made exact eye contact with the doll because you would have been like, I don't give a fuck, it's a doll.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. I'm skeptic
you are an
points.
Open-minded skeptic.
Yes. Because I believe in things, but there are some things. You know, it's
Here's the truth of the matter. Here's what it is. It's not that you are a skeptic. You are not a skeptic at all. You are not a skeptic. You are a skeptic of the moral response of Zak Bagans. Versus the items in the place.
I'm also like, because obviously
you had more issue with him than you did have issue with the actual items and whether they're truthful. For you, the way, especially the way that you said it, is he playing around versus the items being legit or not.
And I guess what I'm saying is like, I'm not a skeptic. What I'm skeptical about are people who could lie about things.
Exactly.
Or the way
you want their provenance. You want an item's provenance.
What do you mean?
So a heavy thing in museum talk is it's an item's provenance. Its origins, its proof of authenticity.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, like, you could just be saying all this to make a buck, and it might not even be true, is what I'm, like, skeptical of.
Yeah, and I totally understand it. Being someone who has watched enough of his shows and has enough experience, an unbiased opinion of him, whereas my mom would have more of a biased opinion because she just enjoys his shows and all his shit. I am of the mindset that I think he really truly does give a very intense shit about all of it. Like, he really does care.
So then what was that about?
I think that sometimes it's like a science student with misguided interest. It's the idea of, like, I'm bringing light to it, but I did it in a way that maybe is questionable.
No, that did not bring light to it.
I understand, but, like,
I mean,
it's the gravity of the situation.
Okay, well, I had never heard of
being a photographer. I know what that's like. I know what, like, photographing things that are really, really dark and dangerous, and, like, there are photographers who photograph people in really bad places and in really bad situations, and they're beautiful images, and they still profit off of them.
Yeah,
you know,
it's just I mean, I guess because I had never heard of Bob Berdella before.
Yeah,
this room.
Yeah,
but that is something that is unfortunately gonna stick with me.
Yeah,
as tasteless as it was.
Yeah,
and maybe Zak Bagans has an explanation. Honestly, I don't know if I'd want to hear it.
I don't think you would care what his explanation is.
I really don't think I would. Because what the fuck?
Because the only thing that he could say to you that would make you feel more okay is we got rid of the dummies and the items are just on display.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that he could say to you that would make you be like, okay.
Yeah.
You've redeemed a little.
Because that was fucked up. Like, I have no other words for it.
Yeah, no, I get it.
And I experienced that by myself. Like, that was another VIP room where my dad and
you
Sophie
didn't have someone else there with you.
Like, I was literally just sitting there like I had no other words other than...
See, if I was there, I would have gone with you. I would have VIP'd with you.
I know you would have.
I would have 100% VIP'd with you. I would never make you do something like that alone.
Okay.
No digs.
It's okay.
I know, like, your parents and stuff listen, and friends and stuff listen, and I love them. I know that, like, it's completely up to them, but me as just me.
It was also just a money thing, and, like, they
and
wanted
I understand
me for
it's
my
a money
birthday
thing.
to go, you know.
No, I know, but, you know, for me personally, I would not want to go alone. I would love to go do a VIP experience there, but I would not want to go alone.
I was just in the mindset of, like, oh, this is just going to be really cool. Haunted stuff. We're going to get some interesting backgrounds.
No, there's dark shit
in that. Really,
yeah, there's really dark shit that they have displayed there. And it's kind of unfortunate.
Yeah. But the last room I'm going to talk about is pretty famous for the Zak Bagans Museum. It is the room with the Dybbuk box.
Oh, yeah.
So basically, a Dybbuk box. I was confused because it didn't seem like they ever really explained what a Dybbuk box was. They just explained all the crap that had been happening around it for them.
Instead of, like, the origins of what a Dybbuk box is.
I mean, maybe they did. I wasn't really paying attention because this room happened, like, right after the Bordella room. So
gotcha.
Basically, a Dybbuk box is a wine cabinet haunted by a demon.
Yes.
And they can possess people.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically it. Usually they come with, like, certification of being
a Dybbuk
box. And they always are like, under any circumstances, do not
this. Yeah.
But it comes from Jewish folklore.
Yes. Yep.
So usually a rabbi is the one that comes and is like
certifies
it. Another thing so basically it's Jewish folklore, and here it says that it's a disembodied human spirit that, because of its sins, just wanders around until it finds a living person to inhabit.
Gotcha.
Apparently, this comes from the 16th and 17th centuries Eastern Europe. The word Dybbuk comes from, like, Hebrew.
Yeah.
And it means to cling.
Gotcha.
So, sticky evil spirit. That's basically what it says. So,
kind of parasitic.
Yeah. And Sophie didn't go into this room. She wasn't feeling it. I could tell the whole thing she wasn't really, because she's also very sensitive. So I get it. She was having, I think, some issues, and I could tell. But it was just me and my dad that went into this one. And my dad said that this was the room that affected him the most. So it was interesting. He, like, they told us we could, like, it's a box in the middle of a room, and you could, like, walk around it. And so we walked around it, and my dad like sped up while we were behind it. And I was like, what? I was just following him. I wasn't looking at it. I wasn't doing anything. But this is the box that apparently possessed or like cursed Post Malone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Zak Bagans and Post Malone were fucking around inside the museum and went inside the Dybbuk box room where the case was off. Zak touched it. Touched Post Malone, I think. And then after that, Post Malone was in a car crash. I think his plane crashed. And then there was a home invasion where he was the target. Like, all after that whole experience. And I'm like...
Hey, Zach, if you're going to invite people, famous people, A, keep all of your cursed objects in their containers. B, you don't get to touch them. And then touch the people who you invited.
Yeah.
Also, C, do not invite the people you invite to touch the objects in your place. Mm-hmm. They're all fucking cursed, dude.
Yeah.
A little forethought would have been great. I am so sorry for Post Malone.
And after talking about this, I'm feeling a little nauseous. My stomach hurts a little bit. There was so much to this house. They even had Michael Jackson's chair. I think that he died in. That he overdosed in, and like, or his makeup chair. His makeup was still on it. They had this wedding dress from this one famous actress who was shot while she was pregnant or something like that. It was really sad. They had a whole bunch of other stuff. There was this one room from this actress from West Side Story, I believe, who died on a boat, and they couldn't find her body again. There was another room that had to do with this exorcism that happened actually pretty recently.
Gotcha.
Like back in the 2010s or something.
Gotcha.
Like artifacts from there. There was just so much. There was so much.
Yeah.
Like, it's hurting my brain thinking about it. But yeah, it was a lot to be in that house. I was kind of done about an hour in.
Gotcha.
I think I was done when the popcorn smell came out because that was disgusting.
Gotcha.
So, was VIP worth it?
Here's the thing. I'm going to stipulate you.
Okay.
Is VIP worth it for the experience of the actual experience? Like the cost to what you get out of it. Not the like emotional, psychological damage, but the actual like things you get to see and experience for the cost that you paid for.
I'd say so. Because you get to see Gretchen. You get to go to the basement.
Yeah.
You get to go to the like a separate room with all the famous people's artifacts.
Yeah.
You get to obviously go into the bordello room, which not worth it. I'd say skip that one if, unless you want to get pissed off, pretty much. You get to, what else? Did I say crawl through the space? Crawl through the little space?
No, but yeah. So basically, it's worth the price.
You get a shirt at the end.
So it's worth the price.
Yeah, you get to do a whole bunch of stuff.
Now, the psychological effect of that.
Oh, there was also a room, like this little, like, carnival cart. And then you go in and, like, look through a window, and there's, like, a under the stairs type thing. And a lot of people say that they see, like, shadow figures or, like, demon faces. I did not stick my head in too far because, again, I was alone.
Yeah.
Everybody had left the little cart, and I was kind of just by myself. I was like, fuck this, I'm out.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah.
Lots of stuff. So
now, the psychological effect of all of those items on the experience.
It was heavy. And then later, we had other stuff planned, so I had to just, like, take an hour, decompress.
Yeah.
To then get back to Vegas.
Yeah.
Because, again, it's still Vegas.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's so desensitizing because you go, you hear about all these terrible things, and then you go to the casino and you like gamble a little bit. Like what?
Yeah. I don't know if desensitizing is the right word. It's very stark. It's a stark contrast to the city. It is a really intense experience.
It just makes
and
you
then you go into like, oh, we're just gonna go into a bar and go gamble and
so it's
play
very
around and fuck
opposite.
Around.
Like it whiplash.
Yeah,
much.
Yeah.
So, I don't even know, man. It's a lot of stuff.
Sounds like a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it was. I thought the tour would never end.
Well, hey, at least you knew, it ended, so that's all you can hope for.
And the whole place is dark and scary, so when you step back out into the sun, it's like, ooh, that hurts my eyeballs. Anyway, that was Zak Bagans Museum
of haunted Ish.
I thought I was going to sound so much more excited about it because honestly, it was fun. I had fun. It was just a lot.
Yeah.
And talking about it again reminded me of how dark some of it was. So
some of that shit is, yeah.
Yeah, still is. Like, it obviously, you could go check out all of these things right now.
Yeah.
I go on a day where you're feeling spiritually awakened.
And fortified.
Yes.
The spiritual fortification is more important than anything else.
For sure. Like, my chest hurts right now after talking about all this. It's okay, though. So, yeah. Do I recommend seeing this? For sure. If you want to do the VIP, go for it.
Just be prepared
for
a lot.
Yeah, a lot. I mean, worth the upgrade, but if you don't want to, you don't have to. You're already seeing so much.
So here's a question.
Yeah.
Would you do it again? And would you do it again VIP?
That depends on who I'm with.
Okay. If you and I went to Vegas for any reason, possibly ever in the future, HHN related, because they are making an experience out in Vegas that is a fully HHN experience.
They released the name of it already.
So
I forget what it was.
But if we ever end up in Vegas again,
yeah,
would you go with me? And would you go with me VIP?
I'd go with you. It's you. So yeah. Anyone else? I'm not sure.
Okay.
Cause like,
if you just went if you and just some paleo friendles were like, we're gonna go to Vegas, and then someone was like, let's go to the Zak Bagans thingy, would you do it? Or would you be like, nah, guys, y'all can go and I'm going to do some other shit? Or would you go and just not do VIP?
I probably would hang back. But at the same time, if I hung back, like, I'd just be thinking the whole time, like, damn, I'm really by myself right now. And I'd just be thinking about them going through the experience.
Yeah, but you're hanging back and you're safe. So you're fine.
Yeah.
You're hanging back and you're not in the
I'd probably go to the pool.
And hang out, get a drink, chill out.
Get a drink, maybe gamble a little bit. Not a whole lot, because that's not who I am.
I would go shopping. Go eat something. Go out
yes, the malls in these hotels are crazy.
I'd be like, I'm going to go take pictures. Y'all can go do whatever the fuck you want.
I will say we stayed at the Venetian. I kind of want to tell this story because it's really funny, but it might be a
good lifter of the mood.
You know what? This is legal activity, so I don't care.
Like, I have to preface that.
So, the last night we were there, Sophie had an earlier flight than us. So, she was going to be leaving, like, really early in the morning. Like, I think 6 in the morning.
Yeah.
And for us, that's, like, 9. Because 3-hour difference.
Yeah.
So, where do we go? We went out to eat or something. And then we went back to the hotel. That's right. Okay, so on this day, I'm gonna just give a little Vegas last day update.
Yeah, go for it.
So we went to see
a nice upper.
We went to see the Chris Angel Mind Freak show.
You told me about this. Yes.
Yes. And I loved Chris Angel as a child.
Yeah.
I thought it was good full circle moment now that I've turned 21 and going to Vegas and seeing this show, because why not? So that was cool.
It's Chris Angel.
Yeah, it's Chris Angel.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had his whole kit when I was a kid. So, and then we saw like the fountain show at the Bellagio and like the gardens there, and that was all really pretty. And by the time we got back to the hotel, it was like 11.
Yeah.
And me and Sophie had drank a lot, so my stomach was kind of upset. Sophie wasn't drunk, but she didn't really want to drink, and I was like, I can't have another drink because my stomach hurts. We weren't drunk. We had just been drinking that day.
Yeah.
And we were kind of like winding down. And so I was supposed to take an exam for one of my classes. I might be ratting myself out here, but that's okay. I was supposed to be taking an exam for one of my classes. And I was telling everybody that day, I was like, don't let me forget. I have to take an exam. I have to start it at least 11.
Yeah.
So that I can take it because it's an hour-long exam.
Yeah.
I go to open it and it's locked because of the time zone difference.
Oh, fuck.
And none of us remembered that would be a thing. And so I wasn't able to take the exam.
Oh, shit.
Luckily for me, all the lowest exam scores get dropped. So as long as I keep up with it, I'm okay.
I mean, no matter what, that will be your lowest exam score.
Yeah.
Like, out of all of your exams, that will be the lowest one, because at least you will have taken the other ones.
So I'm not worried about it, but that was
crazy.
Forgot
time zone difference.
Yeah.
Oh,
so after that, I was kind of defeated, and Sophie and I were just sitting like, what do you want to do? It's our last night in Vegas. Like, and Sophie's like, I want weed.
Oh my God.
I want some weed. It's like almost midnight at this point.
And it's legal there.
It's legal. And so we were staying at the Venetian. Very beautiful. Very amazing. I'm so grateful. And me and my parents... So me and Sophie had like adjoining rooms to my parents. My parents just got back. And we headed out. We were like, all right, we're going to go now. Bye. See you later. I think they were hinting at us like they wanted us to like go off by ourselves. Just to, have a...
Experience being adults by yourselves. Without your parents there.
Because my parents had like went on a dinner with my aunt and uncle, and they didn't realize that we might have wanted to go too. So my mom felt really bad, but I was like, girl, don't feel bad. Go hang out with your friends. Like, do your thing. Me and Sophie will do our thing. It's cool.
Yeah.
So, and then they kept talking about how when they were younger, they would be out all night, like doing their own thing, getting into trouble. So when Sophie was like, let's go get some weed, I was like, say less. We hopped in an Uber, went to a dispensary, and because I'm 21, it was fine. Yeah. So we got a pre-roll. I don't know if I should be saying this on the internet, my digital footprint. It's fine.
You were in a legal location.
It is. It's a legal location.
It's not like you brought it with you back to Florida.
No, which I would never do that.
So
we were just like smoking outside the Venetian.
Uh-huh.
We're just hanging outside, and we're talking. It was like porch time in Vegas.
Yeah.
We were out there for probably like half an hour to an hour just trying to finish it because it was so much. We had to throw the rest out, unfortunately, but like it was a lot. And we had fun. Like, we went and got McDonald's. We were just walking out and about. Like, we went back into the casino and like we got lost.
Oh shit.
Somehow we ended up at the Palazzo again for the second time, and then found our way back to the Venetian to then go to the McDonald's. We only went back inside because I had to pee. I don't know how we ended up the way where we did, but we were just having fun, laughing. Like, I could tell people were looking at us being like, no, those girls are having so fun.
Well, I mean, you all were high, so that makes sense.
Yeah, but it wasn't just that. Like, it was just fun, and everything looked like Europe. And Sophie made this joke where it was like, rich people go to Vegas? No, rich people would go to actual Venice.
Yeah.
And like actually go
experience this
to
shit,
Europe instead of coming to Vegas to look at the cheap knockoff version.
Facts.
I was like, oh my God, that is hilarious. But at the same time, rich people in America, it's the closest and most convenient, I guess.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of gambling. So, but yeah.
I would say middle class rich, because actual rich people would just fucking go.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that was fun. We were out till like 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Just walking around.
Yeah.
Having fun.
Yeah.
So it ended up being pretty good.
That's good.
But yeah, I do recommend going to Zak Bagans if you are a horror fan and spiritual fanatic,
Ghost person.
And that's all I got to say about that.
Alrighty. Well, our next episode is going to be our little shop of horrors. So look forward to that one.
This is our month of silly, funny.
Yes.
Horror.
Silly, funny, just kind of, they're all classics, but they're all, they're all really good. Okay. 2 of them were very good.
Yes.
2 of them were very good. One is our favorite, and one was just weird.
Which you'll come to find out.
Yeah.
Within the month.
Exactly. So follow us on all of our social stuffs. Send us an email at horrorunmasked@gmail.com. Follow us at Instagram and Twitter at Horror Unmasked. Listen to us on Spotify, iTunes, Horror Unmasked Podcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Horror Unmasked Podcast. Rate, review, subscribe to our stuff, like our things, bells, ding, whatever the fuck you need to do in order to have the algorithm push us out there.
Yeah, we're trying to get views.
Yeah.
We want to do this as a career, maybe.
Yee. Go to spooky places and go to do fun shit like Halloween Horror Nights at every Universal location.
In 1 year.
In 1 season. Would be so fucking cool.
That'd be so epic.
Anyway.
And bring you guys along for the journey.
And you want to know what? We might expand to doing the Knox stuff. There's the Knox like Halloween haunt. That's a really cool one. I'll have to talk to you about that one. But yeah, I think with that,
if you don't give us a 5-star rating, the demon from the big box will come for you, and so will Peggy, and so will all the serial killers, and so will Dr. Death, and so will Dennis
you're just
Hoff,
like all of Zak Bagans' shit will haunt you.
So will Al Capone and James Dean's car axle. Thank you.
All right, and with that,
I guess there's one thing left to ask. Will you fear?
Or will you fear not?